Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Studio Cleveland. This is the latest endeavor by my friend Sarah. It's this amazingly expansive sanctuary of peace and love. So if you happen to be in Cleveland, please make a point to stop by. They've got so much stuff. It's been a really unbelievable couple of days. So today, what I'm going to be doing is kind of this build up into triangle pose. Triangle pose is something that we tend to encounter pretty frequently in it's a very common posture in a lot of different styles of yoga, a lot of different yoga classes. So what I want to do is give us a chance to focus on find the kind of digging into what I consider the main components of the posture is this lateral extension. So lateral extension and flexion, it's a movement pattern that goes together. So when one side of the body extends or elongates, the other side of the body automatically flexes or gets shorter. So with this, we want to make sure that we're moving in the same plane. What tends to happen, I'm going to turn sides so you guys can see that, is that when one side gets longer, the other side gets shorter, but then also we start to twist. Either the chest will kind of fall back, or actually it tends to happen more with the hips. So we're going to do some awareness drills to make sure that that's not happening, because that can be really, really precarious for the back. So we want to maximize the length here, but making sure that it's in the correct plane of movement. The setup today is pretty simple. I just have a couple of blocks. I do really highly recommend I'm in love with it. I think it's the greatest thing on earth, the best yoga prop. But if you don't have a knees pillow, please make sure that you have something, because we are going to be doing basically a low lunge version of Trikonasana, and so that can be a lot of weight into the knee. So we want to make sure that we don't have any sort of discomfort restricting the movement. So that said, make sure that you're set up. We're going to start in a yin posture that's known as Bananasana, named for its for the shape that it represents, pretty obviously making a banana shape. So what you're going to do is come onto your back. And then I'm going to actually initiate this from the upper body. So what I want you to do here is to actually roll towards fetal. So I'm starting by lengthening out my left side. So what I'm going to do is take my left hand and just kind of let it drop down behind me. This is going to make sure that we are putting our arm in place so that that's kind of eliminating resistance to the rest of the body. So with my arm behind me, actually let's exaggerate this. I want you to make a fist and bend the elbow as if you were carrying a bag on that arm. So I'm going to pull the elbow behind me, extend my fist behind me, and then turn my palm up towards the ceiling. So depending on how open the front of our chest is, where a backpack strap would land, it might be way up here, it might be way down to the floor. Wherever it is in relationship to the floor is unimportant. What matters is that we have the palm rotating towards the ceiling here. So once you've maxed out, what I'd like you to do is to keep trying to turn the thumb towards the floor. So almost like you're giving a thumbs down here. And then roll around back onto your back. So that way, hopefully we're able to lift the arm up overhead without any sort of resistance in the shoulder joint here. Once we've extended up, so we can notice, I'm trying to actually get my arm as close to my ear as possible. Think long right now. So I'm reaching up overhead. I'm going to do the same thing with the leg on the same side. So rather than going for the banana just yet, what I'm going to do, and I'm lifting it up so you guys can see it, I'm going to kick my heel forward. So we know that we're lengthening while both of my hip bones are still on the ground. Then I'm going to add a little bit of a point. So inhale, reach up through the fingertips. Exhale, point through the toes. I'm just working on this left side to begin with. Inhale, reach the fingertips. Exhale, point the toes. Two more like that. Inhale, reach. You can even give yourself a little bit of an assist here, taking your hand to the ribs and kind of pulling them up towards the hand. Keep reaching up. Use that space that you've lifted into. Exhale, maybe you want to take the hip bone and push it down. So if we were to draw a line across the belly, the top is moving up, the bottom is moving down. Maximum extension here. Inhale, one more time, reach up with the fingertips. Exhale, reach down with the foot. Now from here, I'm gonna start coming into my banana shape. So when we come into this banana shape, we wanna make sure that both butt cheeks stay glued to the ground. If we start to feel any lift or one of the side feels a little bit light in that pressure, we want that to stay our priority. This is number one. Keep both sides of the hips to the ground. We're just gonna start by crossing the ankles. So this is gonna lock down our lower body. I'm gonna provide my right hand for my left hand. So I'm gonna circle up. And I'm gonna sit up so you guys can see this, but I'd like you to stay where you are. The left arm is extended and the right arm is gonna come up and reach and clasp the wrist. If the wrist is not there for you, that's perfectly fine. You can just find whatever's available. Maybe you're gonna grab the fingertips, but find some sort of point of contact. Crossing the distance by bending the right arm to meet the left. Just to start. So once we're here, same concept. I'm gonna inhale, reach up with my fingertips, and this is gonna start to take me into that C curve, into that banana shape. Exhale, I'm still gonna kick forward with the leg and maybe start to move into a C at the bottom. Inhale, reach up. Okay, so just like I mentioned, you want both butt cheeks on the ground, you also want both shoulder blades on the ground. Let's do a self-test here. I want you to intentionally pull that left shoulder off of the floor. You know when you've come out of it, exhale, drop it down. So this is where we want to stay. Now, I'm going to give you another breath. If you have some more curvature left to play with, I want you to find your maximum, and then we're just going to stay there for a couple of rounds of breath. Let the body absorb this shape. Okay, once we're set, we just allow ourselves to be in it. Find a place that's neutral for the neck. And take 10 breaths. Inhale, you have a lot of space to feel the ribs moving here. Exhale, feel that bottom leg get longer. Five more breaths here. Stay for the inhale. Exhale. So let's come out of it just like we went into it. So I'm going to let go of the wrist, let the arm drop into the floor. I'm going to unhook the ankles. And then just slowly start to bring my body back into that center line. Let both arms go. So from here, we're just going to do the other side. I'm going to roll into the fetal position on my left. So now it's my right arm that's up. From here, same process. I'm going to make a fist. I'm going to pull the elbow behind me, and then I'm going to extend the fist back. From here, I'm going to lift this up so you guys can see it. But again, if it falls behind you, that's fine. Just depends on how open this backpack strap area is. Open the palm, rotate the palm up towards the ceiling. Now, if you start to feel any zinging through your elbow, don't be too alarmed. That's normal. We tend to keep this part of our body pretty compressed. So when we start to reintroduce that space, it can be a little bit jarring for the body to refamiliarize itself, but it should be manageable. Manageable meaning like a 5 to an 8 in the sensation scale. If you're hitting a 10, pump the brakes a little bit. So you notice my palm is up towards the ceiling. From here, I'm going to, again, thumbs down towards the floor. Then I'm going to roll my body down while I take my arm overhead. So again, we're just working with the right side to begin with. Inhale, I'm going to reach my fingertips overhead. straight line to begin with. Exhale. Again, both of my hips are on the ground, but I'm actively trying to make this leg as long as possible. If you can visualize that thigh bone in its socket, it's almost trying to pull down and out of it, like so. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale. Now add a little bit of point. Inhale, longer from the top. And again, you're welcome to add a little bit of upward direction to the ribs manually. Exhale, point, downward trajectory from the hip. 2 more. Inhale, reach up. Again, here's where the body starts to separate here from the top to the bottom. Exhale, down. Last one, inhale, up. Exhale, down. Let's add on. So my left hand, I'm going to go through the same rotation. I'm going to turn the palm up, take it overhead, make it reach for my extended arm. Fingertips, wrists, whatever's available to it. And then I'm going to cross that extended leg, that right leg, over top of the left. Now notice a tendency to want to bend the knee. I want you to really reach for the heel first and then add the point. Inhale. So I'm going to use this to manually pull up just a little bit. Exhale. So let's go through those self-corrections here. I want you to pull the leg so long that you see how my hips are rolling. This is what we don't want. So know when you're going into this and then self-correct by dropping that right butt cheek down. I wish I had a gentler, more flowery piece of vocabulary, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So same thing with the top. I'm going to inhale, curl my shoulder blade off of the mat. Exhale, drop it down. So everything's grounded. 1 hip, 2 hips, 1 shoulder blade, 2 shoulder blades. From here, let's start to move into our C shape. So I'm going to draw that top part of the C with my upper body. Exhale. Maybe if my my right hip stays, my right butt cheek stays touching, then I'm gonna take the bottom into the C. So we know that our body is never going to be perfectly symmetrical. We don't eat with both hands. We don't write with both hands. We definitely don't use our lower body the same way. I really noticed it on the tread of my shoes, how right side dominant I am. So of course you're gonna have different lengths from one side to the other. Don't be alarmed. It's normal. It's totally normal. Once you've settled in, you find your maximum, and we just hang out and let the body kind of open up and work with this shape change for 10 breaths. So maybe you notice I kind of, with the lower body, if the knee is starting to buckle in the top, I prefer that you bend the bottom knee to let the top leg stay longer. We should feel, for me, I feel a lot of sensation around the top of my hip bone here. If you're curious, that's your psoas. This is what connects your thigh to your lower back. Gets pretty congested with everyday stuff. So this is kind of a nice treat for it. Breathe gently, but deliberately. Find a place where your head feels neutral or there's not any strain. Full belly breaths here. Five more on your own. Stay for the inhale here. Exhale, we're gonna come out the way we went in. We're gonna release the hand. We're gonna unhook the feet. We're gonna slowly let ourselves come back into the center. So if there's any discomfort in the low back, let's kind of address that right now. What I want you to do is to squeeze the butt as tight as you can. It's fine if your feet roll out a little bit. Exhale, drop it down. Big squeeze, drop it down. Let's add the upper body here. I want you to hang on to your thighs. Look at your belly button, full body tension here. Exhale, let it go. Now, with all of the stuff that we're doing to kind of soften the low back and to lengthen, we want to make sure that we're moving in a way that's not putting it in a precarious position. This means we are never going to sit directly up. We're always going to shuffle our weight, first by taking our knees into our chest, roll towards the fetal position. I'm using my hands to support me. And then I take my pack with me, and I make my way all the way up to standing. So take your time, meet me at the top. So we're gonna go through a couple sun salutations here with some variations that focus on that same movement pattern that we just worked on. What I'd like you to do is to come to the top of the mat. We're gonna start with the feet wider, and then we're gonna work our feet closer. So what I'd like you to do is you can take 1 foot's distance, or you can even go so wide as the mat, so long as the toes are pigeon-toed and the sides of the feet are parallel with the sides of the mat. We want to make sure that that stays lined up. From here, what I'd like you to do is to soften the knees and then push your hip bones forward. From here, come all the way up into standing. I'm going to take my right arm overhead, similar to the shape that we just made. So I'm going to give this a little bit of an assist here. Inhale, exhale. From my left foot, I'm going to push my hips away from the camera. Now notice if you're twisting with your butt going back, this tend to be one compensation. The other compensation is when the chest goes up, and you'll feel it more in your in one side of your low back. If this is a lot on the shoulder, you are welcome to go and grab the elbow, or you're welcome to stay here at the waist and then take the hand either to the hip or to the thigh. So find some place where you stayed focused on the extension of the ribs. That's your first priority, with that correct alignment of the 4 points, right? 1 butt cheek, 2 butt cheeks, 1 shoulder blade, 2 shoulder blades, all making a rectangle of support here. So after all that blabbermouth, then let's hold for 5 breaths. Get neutral with the chin, tongue to the roof of the mouth. 200% push with that left foot. 3. You guys stay where you are. I'm just going to turn sideways so you guys can see me. 4. 5. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, very gently tuck the chin. Roll through the upper back. Support yourself on the way down. Inhale, roll the shoulders. Squeeze them together. Reach the fingertips behind you. Okay, let's do some movement patterns here. What I'd like you to do is to soften the knees. Same arm is going to go up by the ear. So do this together. Grab both fists, pull them back like so. Turn the palms up. From here, I'd like you to take both hands to the front. Now just take the left hand to the hip. Okay, from here, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, start to turn. You're actively pushing the hand over to the left. Notice if your knees start to shift. So how can we lengthen the ribs without losing the lower body that we've established? 3, why don't we take our hand to our pelvis, make sure that that stays flat. 4, 5, inhale, bring it back to the center. Exhale, make your way all the way to the belly with or without the push-up. I'm going to skip it and just make my way down. From here, what we just did standing, we're going to do in this prone position. It's going to be noticeably more difficult because we're closer to the floor. So this is how it's a progressive movement. From here, same thing. I'm going to pull my right elbow back, extend, turn the palm up, bring it by my ear. Now, take your other hand down by the thigh. I don't care about the arm coming up. I care about that right hand pushing over to the left side. Try to look at your left foot. 2, keep pushing. Keep sliding that left hand down. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale. I want you to meet on your knees. If you have a lot of discomfort in the knees, you are welcome to take this into a seated position and then place a block under the hand. So that's going to be the alternative for knee discomfort. If you are okay kneeling, sit here. You know the action. Pull the elbow back, arm overhead. Go ahead and look down at that bottom hand. You see what I just did there? Block, fist, eventually the heel of the hand. 2. Everybody scrunch that left shoulder. Exhale, pull it away from the ear. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, make it back in a downward facing dog. Inhale, bring it forward. Soft knees again. Take both elbows back just so we can work with both arms to begin with. Pull it back. Left hand to the hip, right hand up towards the front of the room. Hand to the pelvis. See if we can just shift the upper body without moving around with the waist too much, with the butt. Butt should stay in place. 3, 4. If it feels like this arm is getting really heavy, feel free to grab your ear or just to take your waist. We're focused on the ribs moving. 5, inhale, back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, head is last. Keep the knees soft. All the way to the top. Exhale. So if you were completely wide on the mat, what I want you to do is to narrow so it's just 1 foot's distance here. Sides of the feet are still parallel from here. Left elbow is going to pull back. Fist goes back, palm up by the ear. From here, inhale, reach up. Exhale, dig deep into that right foot. Send your hip over to the left side. My right hand is going down my thigh. You guys stay where you are. I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see it. Push. This right leg is pushing through the floor. 2. Guys, my right hip is wanting to shirk back. I'm going to push my right hip forward. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, chin to chest. Roll the upper body, bend the knees. Let's take both elbows back. Punch it back. My right hand is going to go to the waist. Actually, let's just start it. Take it to the pelvis. Left hand, palm up by the ear. Again, option to grab the ear. Exhale. Make your ribs longer without shifting around here. Feel like you're trying to push the air over to the left. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, all the way down to the belly. Same thing we just did standing, but on the belly. Pull the elbows back. Right hand to the waist, left hand overhead. Reaching overhead or grabbing the ear. Inhale, dig into your toenails. Exhale, make your left ribs longer. 2, 3. Notice how the body wants to roll over to the right side. Dig the toenails, dig the hip bones. 4, 5. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, into kneeling or seated. I'll demonstrate that here. whatever is more available to you in terms of the knees. Left elbow back, palm up by the ear. Exhale. Side bending. Maybe the block, maybe the fist. If you're seated on a block, you might actually end up bending the elbow a little bit behind you. That's fine. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bring it back to the center. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Inhale, walk it in. Pull the elbows back, fists back. Right hand to the pelvis, left palm is up. Big circle up by the ear. Inhale, make these ribs longer. Push the air over to the right. 2, 3. This is a proprioception drill as much as it is a muscular drill, kind of understanding where your body is in space. 4, 5. Inhale, bring it back to the center. Exhale, chin goes first. Forward fold. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Stand at the top. Bring the feet all the way together. So as we narrow the feet, we have to work a little bit harder to maintain our balance. So that becomes the challenge here. Same thing though, I still want the sides of my feet parallel. That might mean kicking the heels out a little bit. Keep the hips towards the front. Elbows back. Right arm overhead. Reach up. Same as the floor, right leg reaches down. 4. Guys, check out your bottom shoulder. If you can reach the shoulder with your tongue, it's too close. Drop it away. Notice if that hip is getting away from you. Make a belt with your arm, rein it in. 2, push with the feet. 1, inhale, bring it up. Exhale, fold. Notice how my lower body supports me. I bend my knees a lot. Pull the elbows. Take the hands. I'm going to lift my torso so that my ears, my shoulders, my hips are in one line. I'm parallel with the mat. I'm not dumping forward and I'm not lifting up. If you need to lift up a little bit to make it lighter, then that's fine. But we want to avoid this this curled action forward. Okay, let's get back on it. Elbows back, extended. Now from here, we're going to do a little proprioception drill. Take the right arm up, left hand back. So let's stay a little bit more upright for this. From here, T, opposite arm goes forward. T, and then maybe if we can add a little bit of side bend action, that's fine. Don't feel free to rush it. There's a ton of benefit from just trying to work this movement drill. And then of course, maybe adding the side action. Guys, I'm going to give you 3 more breaths on your own. Take this as far or keep it as close to home as you'd like. I'm going to stop talking. Inhale, back to the center. I'm making a T. Exhale to the belly. So we're going to do a similar movement pattern, but just a little bit less complicated. I'd like you to grab your ears here. So give yourself space by digging your toenails down and lifting your kneecaps up. This is going to kind of give you a little bit of an anchor here. Inhale, elbows up. Exhale, side. Crunch your side. Crunch the right. Left. Exhale, right. 3 more. Right. Left. 2. 1. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, kneeling or seated on the block. From here, same dynamic movement, chest up. Push your hips behind you. Exhale, crunch. Right. Move slowly. The body loads the low back pretty quickly. So make sure that you can feel every degree of change as it impacts those muscles. Side bend, left, exhale, right, left, right, left, right. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the feet in. Another opportunity here, you can either stay. I should have given you guys this option before, but if you want to do it with your hands and focus on the muscular action of flexing and extending the ribs, be my guest. If you want to work with the arms extended and work that proprioception drill, I'm going to leave it up to you. I'm just going to cue the breath and you take the variation that you're going to get the most out of today. So we're all going to start with either our hands at our ears or extended. We're kind of in a T shape. Take a breath. Exhale. Crunch the left first. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Right. Left. Right. Left. Right. Left. Right. Inhale, arms like a T. I'm going to support my hands and my thighs, chin to the chest, forward fold. Inhale, curl all the way up. I'm going to take that side bend on the left side, bring the feet together. Both arms go behind. Ready? Turn the left palm out. Exhale. Over. Again, I'll turn behind so you can see. Inhale, reach up and over. Exhale, push the feet through the floor. Notice if that hip is kicking forward. Rein it in. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, release. Turn the hands and the feet out for a beat. Let's just take Tadasana. I do this because it lets the body cultivate its own intelligence. So it gives you a moment just to kind of pause, reset, let the body kind of transcript or process all of that data. 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Meet me back at the front of the mat. So we're going to do some variations, a lot of variations here. I'm going to have my knee pillow ready. So what we're going to do is start with the feet wide on the mat, and then you're going to take the hands down here. So notice my belly is pretty close to my legs. My hips are behind me here. What I'd like you to do is to take your left hand down to the floor. Find your pelvis here. Inhale. Exhale. Push through the floor. Make that arm as long as possible. We can stay here at the waist. Option to take the hand to the ear. So what I want you to notice is a tendency to swing and shorten on one side. We're trying to keep both sides of the waist the same length. I'm trying to keep my pack under control. Doing the best I can. Let's do that again. So if it doesn't make sense, you're like, I don't know if I am swinging, I can't tell, then move into it. So really shorten that waist on the right. That's kind of where it tends to happen. Inhale, pull your hips behind you. Another thing is if we are feeling like we're getting really high, like if something were to slide down, we know we got to bend the knees more. 2. Again, if you can touch your tongue to your shoulder, it's too close. Roll it around, away from the ear, and push through the hand. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale, fold. Bring the feet together. Take both elbows back. Extend, palms up. Take your left arm forward. That's it. That's all I want for you to level out here. Reach the fingertips forward. Reach the fingertips back. Both sets of thumbs are up. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Now follow me here. I'm going to take my left foot back. Look at your toes. Turn them both to the right side. We're going into a side plank here. Now, options in side plank. Let's start in the lowest one. I'm going to have you drop your hip. You are welcome to come onto the elbow. This takes a little bit more gas in the tank. But this is an appropriate variation if you're having any sort of discomfort in the wrist. So push through the elbow into the floor. Another option is coming onto the hand, but making sure, again, shoulder is staying away from the face here. Okay, so number 1, I'm going to stay here, put my hand on my knee, lift up. My foot is in front. You can even take your hand under your ribs and lift up. I'm trying to arch my ribs as high as I can. Option 2, my leg goes behind. Option 3, stack the feet. Option 4, see how I'm getting higher? It makes it lighter for me. Option 4, we're going to take the foot either to the shin or to the inner thigh, never on the knee. Option 5, we're really going for it. Where'd it go? There it is. So this is actually Trikonasana, which we're going to play with later. Find something that works for you that you can maintain for 3 more breaths. 2. Wherever you are, come out of it as you went in. Everybody meets in plank. Lower to the belly. Same position we did in that half lift. We're going to do on the belly. Pull the elbows back. Extend, left hand up. Inhale. Reach the left fingers forward. Simultaneously exhale. Reach the right fingers back. So we're teaching our arms to move in opposition. 4. Oh, sorry guys, back thumb is up. 5. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot comes forward. Now this is where we're going to need to really cushion up that back knee. So I am here in a low lunge. What I'd like you to do, that back foot is going to turn in. Like so. So I'm going to adjust here. So notice how I am on a little bit of a slant. That's what I'd like you to do, is to have your back toes tucked under, and then to encourage the body in the direction of that front knee here. So what I'm going to have you do is take that left hand, find your hip bone. This is going to push. Take the front hand, walk the foot further. So I am beyond a 90-degree angle here. Pull. When I say pull, I'm actually meaning kind of scoop. I'm scooping my thigh up and over behind me. 2. You can't push your butt far enough forward in this one. 3. 4. 5. Inhale, bring it back. We're gonna skip all of that complication, and all we're gonna do is take it to the other side. So to come out of it, I need this back foot to spin back. I'm reorienting towards the front of my mat. Low lunge to high, switch it out. Back knee comes down. Back foot comes inside. So this should be, I'm on my right knee right now. From here, see how my back toes are under? That's what you want. Kick your hip bones forward. Adjust your foot. Now notice the tendency of the knee to collapse to the big toe. All you got to do is adjust the stance. If that means moving the foot inside more, absolutely, that's what you should do. From here, again, I'm going to grab hold of my thigh, right hand. Exhale, push your hip forward. Inhale, roll that thigh out. Exhale, push. Inhale, pull. 3, 2, keep digging into that back hip bone. 1 more. Inhale, bring it back. Swing the foot back into its original position, low lunge to high. Bring both knees down. We're going to go into child's pose on the right side. So again, if there's any discomfort here, you are completely welcome to do this from a tabletop configuration. It's just a little bit more margin for error in terms of the hips, but that's how you should be modifying for that limited flexion in the knees. So when we're in this child's pose, I want you to experiment. One hand is pushing, one hand is pulling. Which hand needs to do what? How can you use your own force in tandem to generate more space in the body? Neutralize the neck. 3 more breaths. Tabletop, bring it back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, walk the feet in. Deep bend in the knees, elbows pull behind you. My left hand is forward, my right hand is back, but still turn both thumbs up. 5. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reach back. 4, 3, 2. Exhale, fold. Open up the feet on the mat. Same thing, sit back. This time it's going to be our right hand. So our placement should be kind of like a triangle. If the 2 feet are the base of the triangle, my hand is going to go ahead and make the top. You are welcome to move that back as far as you'd like. So from here, I'm going to take my hand to my pelvis here. Notice if we're swinging, that's the idea of this particular shape, is to understand those compensations. So first you want to make sure the pelvis is flat, and then as if your tailbone were on a string, you're trying to pull everything back behind you. Keep these ribs here long. 3, again, can you lick your shoulder? I don't want you to. You can tell I work with kids too long. Don't lick your shoulders. Don't lick your neighbor's shoulders. 4, 5, take a breath here. Exhale, fold. Bring the feet closer. I'd say about 2 fist distance. From here, sit back into the heels, pull the elbows behind you, extend. This time, my right hand is going to turn up by the ear, left hand, still with the thumbs up, behind me. Again, if you're starting to feel a lot of cramping in the low back, you can lift up a little bit higher, but make sure that you keep the bend in the knees. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reach back. Maximum wingspan here. Inhale, forward. Exhale, reach back. 3, 2, exhale. All the way to the belly. Make it fancy or not. Nope, sorry guys. We're going to go for that side plank here. So my right foot is back, my left foot is forward. Look at your toes. They're both going to turn over to the left. Have a seat on your hip. So once you're on your hip, You can stay at the hand. You can come down to the elbow. I'm going to stay on my hand here. Leg extends. First option, grab onto the ribs, pull up. I'm pulling with my ribs, I'm pushing with my hand. Or if the elbow is low, you're pushing with the elbow. Option 2, the leg extends in front. Option 3, leg behind. Option 4, stacked. Option 5, I'm going to shorten this shape a little bit for myself. Option 5, after stacking, calf or thigh, just never the knee. Option, whatever number we're on. We find that big toe, we push and we pull. 5 breaths. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, slow and controlled. Take it down, meet me on the belly. From here, both elbows back, extend, right hand up by the ears, left hand down by the hip, both thumbs are up. Inhale, reach and extend, exhale. Back arm gets longer towards the feet. Inhale, reach forward, exhale, reach down. 3, 2, thumb stays up. 1, inhale, exhale. Downward facing dog, step right. Low lunge with that back foot. So have a block ready because we're gonna start to bring the upper body down a little bit. Same foundation as the last round, my back foot turns in. From here. Again, set up the foot that it's behind the knee. From here, feel free to walk that foot forward. That's gonna help you out actually a little bit so that we're not overextending like so. Exhale, push the hip. Inhale, roll the thigh. From here, I do want you to work with a bent knee to begin with, but you are welcome to take this block to whatever height you need to support you. We shouldn't be turning the chest down to reach it. So let's make sure that we're not doing that. Take your hand across the ribs. Pull your ribs up and over. Your belly button should stay facing me here towards the front. Or grab on here and pull it open. Exhale. My ribs are going over my thigh. Notice if it starts to be the belly button. We got to come higher with the torso then. If we can get the ribs closer, then we can start to come down. Find your maximum. 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Inhale, bring it back. Back foot untucks. We go back where we came from. Low lunge to high. Switch. My left foot is forward. My right knee is down. So we're going to do this again, but I'm going to face completely in the same direction as you. My back foot has come in. My left foot is forward. My block is ready. From here, lunge into it. So my hand is going to be here for my hip to push into. Push forward. Inhale, peel your thigh open. From here, you can do whatever manual adjustments are helpful for you, right? You don't have me in the same room as you, so you got to be able to do this for yourself, but I will guide you through the process. Either grab the ribs up and over. This is how I like to adjust myself. Or I take my hand across my ribs if I'm really turning and make sure that I stay here. Then I start to come laterally. Notice when your belly button's turning. This is how we're going to get into trouble with the low back. So I need the belly button to stay facing forward, and it's the ribs that are trying to lay down on that thigh. Once you've found your maximum here, you can keep the hand, bring the block to you. So adjust the height. As that side of the body starts to open, maybe we can start to go in so long as the ribs stay oriented towards the leg. 3. Guys, you are welcome to look up or down. Make sure that the neck is not under distress. Tongue to the roof of the mouth. 4, 5. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale. Turn that back foot out. Low lunge to high. Take the front foot back. Lower the knees, tabletop or child's pose. Walk the hands off to the left. So again, just do a little bit of self-inquiry here. Be a little curious. How can we combine the forces of push and pull from the hands to maximize the length in those right ribs? Three more breaths. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale. Down dog. Inhale, walk it in. Keep the knees soft. Hips behind you. Pull the elbows back, extend. Circle that right arm to the front. Left arm reaches back, thumbs up. Inhale. Maximum wingspan here. Exhale, backhand. Inhale, front hand. 4. Notice if the shoulder is dropping. This is going to shorten our length. Roll it around, pull. 3, 2, exhale. Last time, open the feet just a little bit. So the hand forms the top of the triangle. One hand, 2 feet at the bottom of the triangle. So watch me first. I'm going to make sure everything's set up in place, and then I just kind of add the flare of the arms here. So my pelvis is in place. I'm not swinging my hips right or left. I'm not lifting top to bottom. Leveled out here. Now, what I'm going to do, with my arm behind me, my thumb's going to rotate up. I'm going to reach up and grab my ear. If I notice, again, I can lick my shoulder, I got to pull it away. So I'm pushing my hand through the floor. I'm pulling my elbow over top. I'm trying to get my elbow to point towards the ceiling without increasing space with my hips. I'm going to keep that locked in place. So play around with that. If you have more space, we just extend the arm. 5 breaths. Again, pull the elbow back, extend, thumb up. Maybe we stay here. Maybe we can touch the ear. Maybe we can open the elbow. Maybe we can extend the fingertips. 4, 3. Can you make your neck a little bit longer to the front? I think that'll help get that shoulder away. 2, 1. Exhale. Inhale. Both elbows pull back. Right arm forward. Left arm back. Again, just go through a little bit of that articulation. Exhale. Inhale, T, thumbs up. Exhale. Two more each side. T, right arm up. T, left arm up. T, right arm. T, left arm. Inhale, T. Exhale, fold. We're not going to mess with that side plank business. We're going to take the left foot back right away, low lunge. Set it up, turn the foot in. So let's put those pieces together. Everything that we practice with the lower body plus all of this crazy extension with the upper body here. I'm going to have my block ready. I'm going to lunge in. So again, I'm trying to get this deep of an angle here. Or you don't need to match it, but just understand that's the trajectory of it. From here, push your butt forward. Walk the foot out a little bit. Inhale, scoop. Roll that thigh around. Now, From here, find your block. Remember, it's the ribs, not the belly button. So go ahead and manually adjust everything. I'm going to hang onto my ribs like a sandwich here. Turn. Then the whole torso is going to lean. If you get a little bit of love handle action here, you're doing it right. From here, I'm going to take my hand to the block, just as an extension of the arm. Elbow back. Extend the fist. Thumb up. Big circle here. Ooh, grab my ear. I am welcome to stay here. Otherwise, if I feel like I have more space, I'm going to lower that block without turning my belly. My ribs stay oriented towards my thigh. Maybe my hand will extend. Chin up or chin down, but tongue to the roof of the mouth. 5. Is your knee collapsing in? Take a breath. Exhale, push your knee against the arm. 4. 3. 2. Last breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring it up. Let's do it again, yes? One more side. So turn that back foot out. Switch the feet. Guys, I know it's shameless self-promotion, but for doing all of these drills and being able to play with these shapes, this is really such a game changer here. So I need you to take your back foot in. Make sure, again, that should not be an obstacle to success here. This discomfort in the knee, you just got to find a way to cushion it up. From here, set everything up. Lunge in. Push your butt forward. Pull your thigh out. Okay, self-adjust here. Find your ribs, spin your ribs so it's stacked. Again, just like when we started, right? Butt cheek, shoulder blade, shoulder blade. One big rectangle here. They're all in the same plane. Inhale, lift your chest. Okay, this is just a direct extension of the arm here. So if I'm cool here, and you can see that it's my ribs that are oriented rather than my belly button. If I have some more space to play with, absolutely, I'm going to lower down. If that's not the case, if I'm rotating, I got to stay where I am so I never compromise with my low back. Second arm, pull the elbow back, extend, thumb up, big circle. Ooh. Grab the ear. Maybe I extend. Chin up, chin down to push the tongue. 4. 2. 1. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, start to bring the weight back into the feet. Inhale, follow it up. Exhale, ta-da. Child's pose. So I'd like you to use one of the blocks to support your head. Stay for the inhale. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Inhale, bring it back. Elbows back. Fists back. Left thumb goes up. Inhale. Forward. Exhale. Back. Both thumbs are up. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. 3 more. Last one. Exhale. Last time. Right hand makes the top of the triangle. Left hand behind, pull. Open. Level out. 5. 4. 3, 2, exhale, fold. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Couple breaths. Process that data. Not mentally, physically. Okay, so all of that nonsense, let's do Trikonasana, shall we? Foot placement. Now, traditionally, there's one of two cues that is used, heel to ankle or heel to heel. I don't recommend this for the majority of people. You have to have a pretty, almost a dancer's turnout in order for that to be a realistic foot position. Rather, what I'd like you to do is we're going to start by orienting from this front foot. So start with the high lunge. I want you to go into a deep bend in that front knee. Now, we're going to hang on to that front thigh, and we're going to peel it open. Drop that heel down. So exhale. Push the hip forward. If you noticed any movement of the knee in when you drop that heel down, all you got to do, step clockwise. That should help you keep that knee tracking over the middle toe. Okay, so let's do that again. Maybe I'll do it this way so you guys can see that I'm building around this front knee. So I'm going to start here in a high lunge. Okay, so I'm going to keep my hand here to encourage my thigh open. I'm going to open up this back leg. Now, notice how when I turn, how that starts to go in. I started here, but I ended up here. That means I take one step clockwise, and notice how that went right over my middle toe. So place your feet where you're tracking the knee, where the knee is tracking over the middle toe, and then we can move from there. So knee is over the middle toe, back hip is pushing. Inhale, take the arms out to the side. Exhale. I'm going to have you start with a deep bend. We did this before, we know this. It's my ribs, not my belly button, that's going towards the thigh here. Reach, right? Front and back. Exhale, sorry guys. Have your blocks ready. Place them. If it doesn't quite reach, then what I want you to do instead is to grab the shin. So shin or block, both are equally effective. From here, keep that arm back. Find your maximum. Inhale, arm overhead. Don't worry about straightening the legs. We didn't do a lot with the hamstring, so I don't want that to be a distraction right now. Inhale, reach up with the fingertips. Exhale, this hand pushing straight down with the heel of the hand. Inhale, reach up. Now notice if that knee is falling in, I need that knee to continue pushing the arm. 4, tongue to the roof of the mouth. 5, inhale. Exhale, let yourself lunge again. Inhale, bring it up. Second side. So start with the high lunge. Open everything up. If the knee starts to collapse in, you know what to do. Just take a step this time. It's the other direction, so it would be counterclockwise. So I'm going to step a little bit counterclockwise. Okay, my knee is tracking over my middle toe with my butt underneath of me. Sometimes we tend to shorten the distance here, but I need those hips pushing forward. From here, grab your block. Okay, inhale, extend. Exhale, ribs over this front thigh. Place the block or grab the shin. Inhale. Sorry guys, take this elbow back, up and around. 5. Exhale, even on the shin, I'm actively pushing. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. See, can't lick my shoulder. I'm doing it right. 3, 2. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, let's take it down to the floor. Take the heads to the front of the mat, feet towards the back. We're just gonna do a couple gentle counter postures, and then we're gonna call it a day. From here, I'd like you just to drop your knees in towards each other. Just take about 5 breaths. So I was very generous with my explanations today. We're going to do a really short guided Shavasana. Again, Shavasana is a very important, it's an important posture, it's an important process. So we need to make sure that we give it attention. Release the legs, extend them out. Go ahead and soften your eyes. Let's take an inhale and exhale. Inhale, hold the breath. Point the toes, squeeze the calves, lift the kneecaps, squeeze the hips so the thighs roll out. Keep the muscles. Exhale. Inhale, hold the breath. Clench the belly, fists, clench the teeth, the eyes, the whole body tighter, tighter. Last squeeze. Release. Take one deep cleansing breath. I love how my friend Joanne at Tribal always says, inhale energy, exhale lethargy, which is a great idea when we're closing our practice and getting ready to go out into the rest of our day. Gently wiggle the fingers and the toes, bring the knees into the chest. Exhale, slowly roll to the side. Make your way back into seated. Let's bring the hands together in front of the heart. I would love to invite you to take an Om with me. We'll inhale together. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kasche dukkha bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May all be happy. May all be free from disability. May all look to the good in the others, and may none suffer from sorrow. Peace, peace, peace. Peace in thought and word and deed. Take the hands behind you, bow forward. Take a minute, acknowledge one thing you have to be thankful for. Inhale, rise up, rub the palms, cup the eyes. Blink the eyes open, look at the palms. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you to the Studio Cleveland. Thank you to the owner, Sarah. It's been such a joy to be here with you. Thank you for your time and your energy. Be well. Talk to you soon. Ciao.